Hey guys, welcome. Just started the live. Wards Bro, Curtin, what's going on? It's Friday. We made it. Hope everyone's having a great day. I'm going to go for probably about an hour. We'll see how long it goes. I've been doing these live, so I'm streaming live to YouTube and also to Instagram, and I'll take any questions. So if you have any questions during the live, just stop me and I'll answer them. But top of mind for me is anyone who's looking to create content, I am going to encourage you to start a podcast, even if no one listens to it, just solely for the purpose of creating. Hey, what's up? What's up, Road King? Good to see you. Welcome back. Even if it's for the sole purpose of just creating content. So I'll take in, I'll go through my flow here and then I'll stop and I'll take any questions that you guys have. What I've been doing and I've always done this with my podcast, with my long form podcast, is I will create a video podcast that I will launch to I'll put it on audio, and then I'll also put it on YouTube. I don't put every podcast on YouTube, but the majority of them I do. And then literally with the click of a button, I have a streaming platform that I use, this streaming platform, which is called riverside.fm. I can click a button, an AI button, and it will, from that long form video, it will create clips. It'll create 30 to 60-second clips. And if you go to my Instagram page, you'll see those are the clips. Like, and I'll just go in, I'll do some very, very, very light editing. I'll add the captions that's already pre-done. I download them, or I download them and then upload them to the scheduler in Meta, and I can schedule out a week's worth of content in probably 20 minutes total, start to finish, from the time that you start editing it to uploading it. And this allows you to have content rolling. You can get ahead, right? So this live right here that I'm doing, I will actually create, I'll do the same thing. I'll create the long form will be on YouTube. I'm doing this live right now, and then I will create clips based on what I'm talking about. And the other thing that's really, really valuable is you have all the words. So you have the transcripts and all the words that I'm speaking, you can use in a variety of different mediums. So let's just say that you did not ever want to show your face. Like, I don't want to be on YouTube. I don't want to be on Instagram. I don't want to do talking videos. This is why I think a podcast is a great way for you to create content. It's because think of it like a brain dump. So you can create a show, and seriously, who cares if nobody listens to it? Most podcasts don't get listened to anyways. In terms of scale, it's really like friends and family. You don't even have to tell anybody. You can just record. So you can record the shows and then just make sure that you have the transcript. So if you're using like a device like or a tool like I have, riverside.fm, you get the transcript. And then you could take that transcript and you can turn that, they're your words. So it's not like you're plagiarizing anything. And then you could take the transcript from the podcast episodes that you do and turn those into articles. You can turn them into blog posts, you can turn them into LinkedIn posts, you could turn them into ebooks, lead magnets. Like I have a I record everything and I have transcripts for everything. So one of the things that I do in my mastermind community, W2 Prison Break Nation, is every Monday I do what's referred to as a Monday mindset moment. So I just have a topic that I want to talk about, and I get everybody in the right frame of mind to start the week. And the members really, really like it. Well, I probably done like 100, not 100, I probably done maybe 60 of them, right? So I have 60 of these Monday mindset moments that are anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes long, and I have the transcripts for every single one of them. So I could literally go into ChatGPT, I could take all the transcripts, upload them to a PDF document, upload that document into ChatGPT, and say, I want you to analyze these Monday mindset moments. It's all on mindset. And I could have it turn it into an ebook or a series of articles, or help me turn this into a mini course. And I already have a course on mindset, so I don't need to do that. But I'm just saying, like, if you have something that's themed out that you've done over and over again, that's very similar, you can take the all of those transcripts and just have it just upload it into AI and have it organize your thoughts for you in a way that you can present to other people. And that can be a lead magnet, that could be something that you sell, and that can just simply be content to get attention. So I if you're ever thinking about starting a business, and the majority of you that follow me either want to start a business, you have a business, or you want to get into entrepreneurship, that's why you're following me, because that's all I ever talk about. And I would just if you haven't started, or if you haven't started, you need to start, right? So you got to pick your business idea, and if you need help picking your business idea, it is the one thing that I have spent a lot of time and energy trying to help people with. And I have a free workshop. It's called the Business Selection Workshop. All you have to do to the easiest way for you to get the Business Selection Workshop is just to simply go to, I'll just put the link in here. I don't know if you guys can copy links here. It's 100% free. Now, this is my lead magnet. Okay. And I got this. So if you have not yet downloaded the workshop, just copy that URL and put it into your browser, and you'll get taken. You got to give me your email and your name. That's the trade. Right? I give you your name and email. I won't spam you. That will help you select your business idea, and using what you already know, your skills and your knowledge. But let's just say now you have a business idea, right? Like you have the thing that you're going to do. You Once you get to the next like two or three steps, which is going to be, okay, I've got the idea, I want to validate the business idea, and then I want to think about an offer, like what am I actually going to offer to my audience. Like, you have your audience, then you have your offer, and then you need to start really focusing on lead generation. That's the biggest thing in the beginning when you're a business owner, is getting known. Nobody knows who you are, and you have to solve that problem, and you have to spend the majority of your energy daily to solve that problem. I have something that is of value. I have something to offer. People just don't know about it. And if you focus your attention and your energy on solving that problem, then more people will know you. You'll have more opportunities to sell your stuff. If your stuff is good, your product has to be good. That's the thing that a lot of people miss, is like, you can't sell garbage. Eventually, that's going to catch up with you. So you have to have a good product, but you got to get known. So one of the ways to get known is to create, and a lot of people don't know how to create content, or don't know what to talk about. And that's why I just say, like, start a show, start a podcast for you. And heck, I don't even care if you publish it, quite honestly. I really don't. I just want you to get into the cadence of talking about your area of interest or expertise, and do it in a long form format. Like, I have for years used my podcast, the W2 Prison Break Show, as my main form of what we refer to as cornerstone content. Like, it's the big piece of content that everything flows down from there, where I can make the shorter clips, and I can make lead magnets, and I can write articles. I have the transcripts. I mean, I already went over that. So if you can do a voice only podcast because you don't want to do video, then just make sure that you're doing it on some type of a cadence. I would recommend no less than once per week. So if you're doing your show one time per week, that's going to be 52 shows for the year. You're going to have a lot of content. If you up it to two times a week, which again, you have to make sure that you can handle that bandwidth. That's a lot. If you're only doing audio, it's a lot easier, because I mean, you can do, if you get really good at it, I can do a 5 minute episode, and it probably takes me from start to finish about 15 minutes, from thinking about it, right? Thinking about the idea, actually recording it, doing a quick edit, and then uploading it to my my Kajabi account, which is where I host my podcast. And then from there, I can just take all of the transcripts and I can take the clips and do my thing with it there as well. So that is my recommendation to you guys who, if you're looking for content, is to start a podcast. Make it for you. Like make the show for you. Record audio and video. You can do it for free. You can go to Spotify for podcasters and you can start a free account. You'll have, you don't need to do guests. It can just be you. So you don't have to worry about, the stress of booking guests on your show. Like just make it for you. Speak to your ideal customer every single time. So if you take my workshop, right, the W2 Prison, if you go to this link here in the notes, w2prisonbreaknation.com/workshop, and you take this, it's going to help you define your business idea. And it's also going to help you define your target audience if you ask it to. So when you're doing your show, your podcast, that's who you're speaking to. Like what are the top problems that this particular individual has, and continue to address those problems in each of the episodes. Like just map them out, right? Each episode, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, especially if you're doing the podcast for you and you're just letting go of like nobody's really even listening to this. I'm just doing this show because I like talking about this particular topic and I want to help people get better in this particular area of interest. And then now you have all of that content, all that audio, all those transcripts that you can turn into social media posts. You can turn them into emails. You can turn them into lead magnets and digital products that you could sell. And seriously, anyone can do this. There's like literally no excuse. If you can speak, you can start your own podcast and you can create content. And again, it does not need to be an actual full blown podcast, right? Like you don't even have to post it. I would recommend that you do that because, I have found a lot of random people that just, when I get on calls with people, and I'll be like, how'd you find me? Because a lot of times they don't tell you. It's like, oh, I just stumbled on your show, your podcast. And I don't really promote my show that much other than inside of my online community, my school community, where I promote it. I promote the podcast and I tell the members, I'm like, hey, I dropped a podcast today, go listen to it, and my email list. So those are the only two areas that I really ever promote my podcast is my email list, which is about 3,500 people, and then my school community. So it's not, I don't do it a lot, but my thought process behind my show, my podcast is to create the content, right? To speak about the things, the problems, the roadblocks that my ideal target audience has, and then to provide solutions, right? Like that's what I'm always doing. And then I can just repurpose that content all day long. And if you can get into that frame of mind, Kelly, Drew, Eric, Speed, what's up, guys? How you doing? I'm talking about starting a podcast and how you can use it to create evergreen content. Like you would never run out of content ideas because that's one of the things that I get a lot inside of my group from my community, W2 Prison Break Nation, and then also with my one-to-ones is like I'm running out of content ideas. I don't they can't ever get ahead, right? Like they're just constantly chasing having to put content out. And if you adopt this strategy where you are dedicating time to making the content and you only have to make it one time and you're smart about it, then you'll never run out of content. Like again, I'm doing this live, this this live stream, which I'm at about 15 minutes right now. The last two that I've done, I did 90 minutes and then I did an hour. And out of those two, I probably got like 30 social media clips, like shorts, that because this is all being recorded, video and audio. And those are being posted right now, those short clips. And I don't I don't get hung up like some people do. I don't get hung up on views. I really don't. Because I'm not looking for millions of views and hundreds of thousands of views. I'm looking for the right customer, right? Like I'm looking for the right buyer. And that's what you guys should be looking at too. Like if I get 300 views on one of my videos, my mindset is, well, I had zero before I posted it. I had none. I had nobody looking at it. And we get so caught up in some of these metrics that don't really matter. Like, okay, great. I had a video that had 1 million views. Well, how many people bought something from you off of that? And it's like zero. So it doesn't make any difference if nobody's buying from you. If that is your goal, is to make money, like you shouldn't be chasing views. You shouldn't be chasing these metrics, what they refer to as vanity metrics. You should be making sure that your message is dialed in to the person that you want to buy stuff from. And you don't need to have a super huge audience to be able to do that. Now, at scale, you would, but by the time you get there, you will have had a larger audience. Like I have 30, I think I have about, and I'm actually reducing followers off of my list because I have a lot of followers that were following me from when I was in the real estate business, and I'm not in the real estate business anymore. So they're not interested in what I'm talking about because they're only interested in real estate. So I go through my list fairly frequently and just clean it up, right? Like just make sure that I don't have a bunch of spam accounts following me and just make sure that, if anybody's flagged. So my follower count's actually going down. And that doesn't bother me. Like I'm not looking, oh, I need to have 50,000. It's like, no, I really need to only have, like if I hit my goals for this year, I only need 1,000 clients. I need 1,000 clients in my school community, and I need another 3,000 sales for my other products at a certain average. So I need 3,000 sales and I need 1,000 community members. And it's January, so I need 4,000. And there'll be a mix. Like some of the 1,000 community members will be part of the 3,000 that will buy other stuff from me. And when I look at it from that aspect, it's like I don't need to have 100,000 followers or 50,000 followers to achieve that. If I had 4,000 followers that were all right fit, like my perfect audience, then I got everything I need. Like the audience is right in front of me, especially if I can get them on my email list. My biggest goal in 2025 is to grow my email list by 4,000. And I'm going to give you guys some math that I hope makes sense, and just the way that I think about things, because I am running. There's a lot of different schools of thought. Like I run ads. I run Facebook ads. You guys might have seen some of them. I run a lot of ads. I run different ads. I'm making new ads every single week. But my most successful campaign is my lead campaign to this workshop that I posted in the comments here, the business selection workshop, which I have a process to help people launch an online business using, and when I say online, I'm talking about remote. I'm not talking about it has to be digital products. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about remote. So you don't have to go to a brick and mortar place or an office building. And it can be anything. It can be coaching. It can be, you can be you can, yeah, I have somebody who is starting his own business brokerage. Like that's online because it's remote. Like you don't have to go into an office. You can work from home. That's what my customers, my people want: location freedom, because they're tired of going into an office or they're tired of traveling for their job. So that's what I mean by online. Just don't want there to be any confusion there. When we're building this business, like there's steps that you have to follow, but what everybody gets hung up on, and I've done a lot of interviews, I've done a lot of polls, a lot of surveys, is I don't know what business to start. That's the number one block for the majority of people out there who are looking to supplement their income, their 9 to 5 income, or just make extra money, is they don't know what to do. They don't know what side hustle to start. They don't know what business to start. So that's why my workshop, my business selection workshop, solves that problem. And I give it away for free. So I give away step number one for free. And I've tried to make it as good as I can. And I've done multiple iterations of it. And the right people, when they take that and go through it, they all say the same thing, which is like, that really helped me, and it really got me thinking in ways that I had never thought about before. Had a call with a gentleman this morning who said that. And that's when I say the light bulb goes off for me. It's like, how do I find more of those guys? Right. Like I'm looking for him or her times 1,000. Right. My light just went off. Hang on. All right. Sorry. My side light just went off. We're getting snow here in Chicago, in the Windy City here. So it's been snowing literally all day, and I'm not really looking forward to going out and shoveling my driveway, but it's something that's going to have to be done. So I lost my train of thought there with the light, which is okay, but I'm giving okay, going back, I give away step number 1, which is the workshop. But beyond that, you still need, as my target customer, you need more stuff, right? Like, okay, I have the idea, like, what do I do next? Like, how do I get leads? And, what happens if, like, you need support. Like, you need to know that if I go all in on this idea, that I'm going to need help, because likely most of you have tried something in the past. Like, maybe you've tried to start a business, or self-inflicted because you just didn't on it. But a lot of the times you're picking something for the wrong reasons. Like, people pick businesses for the wrong reason. They pick it because they're scrolling through, you're scrolling through social media, and you see, you fall for the trap, right? Like, you see an ad and it's like, oh, so I can make $10,000 a month doing this YouTube automation thing, or, selling these $17 PDFs or something like that. And you investigate it and it's like, oh wow, it's only, $7, and I can, or $18, or whatever the price is, and you just get sucked into the marketing funnel. And for some of you, this can happen over and over again. It's dangerous. And if you don't, what usually happens is, there's a few things that happen. So let's say you buy the thing, you buy the product. Well, either the product is dog shit, so it's not any good, and you get gun shy because you've purchased something that isn't any good. And I think we've all done that. I think we've all bought an education product, doesn't matter the price tag, which just simply wasn't what we expected. It wasn't good. And we would have, if we could go back, we would never have made that purchase. Well, if you do that enough times, then you become gun shy, period. And like, anyone who's out there marketing products and services becomes thrown in that same bucket, where it's like, hey, this is a scam. So as a marketer, like, as somebody who, I have products that I sell online, right? I have mini courses. I have digital products. I don't have a lot of stuff that I sell. I really just have my low ticket offer. I have my one-to-one coaching program, and then I have my school community, which is really where I'm trying to get everybody to go to, is my school community, because that is the biggest opportunity for me to grow something at scale, because it's affordable for everyone. And if I can build this big community, then it's monthly recurring revenue. And if I can get the right people in there, like, if I can get, again, the 1,000 of the guy that I met with today, and I have women in there too. So I have a good mix of men and women. It's getting to the point where it's like 50-50. Then it becomes like this machine that's operating on its own, and not everybody needs me. And that's the kind of business that we all want to build, where we're not needed. Like, if we step away, then the thing doesn't fall on its face. Like, that's when you have a real true asset, and not just another job, which is what I think we all want. If we're working in jobs, like, we want something that provides us with that freedom to just be like, hey, you know what, today I'm just not going to do anything. I'm going to go take my wife and my son to the baseball game on a Tuesday, because I can. I don't have to ask anybody. Like, I think that's appealing to a lot of people, which is why getting into business is so attractive for a lot of people. Not just about money, it's about lifestyle. And I just think that a lot of people look at business ideas for the wrong reason. It's like, if I can just replace my income, like, they look at it as a math problem. And to me, that's the wrong approach, because I've done that approach. I've done that I did that approach 26 times, actually 27 times, and it didn't work for me. None of them worked. Now, the 27th side hustle that I started actually got me out of my job, but the 26 prior to that did not. And it was because I was simply trying to solve a math problem, which is I make X, I make this amount of money. I need to go find something that makes me the same amount of money so that I can get out of this situation. Because whatever new situation I get into is going to be better than this, which was I was flying on airplanes 100,000 miles a year. I was missing my son grow up. I was away from my wife, and I just wasn't feeling like I was getting paid what I was worth. I felt like there was something more for me. So I was simply trying to solve a math problem. And that didn't work because I wasn't into it. I was never all in on any of these side hustles that I had started. And look, I have tried it all, guys. I've tried any side hustle that you can think of. I tried it, right? And some of them I tried more than others. Some of them I just dabbled in a little bit, but for the majority, I was dabbling in everything. I didn't really go all in on anything. The 27th one for me that worked was real estate. And I can tell you that it had nothing to do with the fact that it was real estate. Absolutely nothing. Had nothing to do with that. The reason that it worked this time versus the 26 other times that it did not work, and it was 26 because I counted them up, and I keep diligent records on stuff, and I did 26 attempts at side hustles over my career of side hustles. Like, and I'm going to be 51 years old, so I was doing multiple per year. The reason this one worked, the reason real estate worked, is because I was ready. I wasn't ready the other times. I wasn't mentally prepared. I wasn't thinking in the right frame of mind, which was what I've been doing in the past, like all these other businesses, wasn't working. And it was because of me. It wasn't because of the side hustle. It wasn't because of the business. It was because of me. I was the thing that was not working. I wasn't fully committed. I was juggling multiple things at the same time. Sometimes I was trying two or three different businesses at the same time because, again, I was solving the math problem. I make $10,000 a month or whatever it is, and I have to try to make $10,000 a month. And I don't think in my head that that one business can make me that. So I have to do it with like two or three different businesses, which is just a foolish way to think. But that's the way I thought. And now I know that lesson because you can't possibly juggle two to three side businesses and your 9 to 5 job and your family. It just doesn't work. Like, that math doesn't ever add up for anybody. So I said, all right, look, I have tried these 26 different side hustles. They haven't worked. And the reason is because of me. So I'm going to change the variable that I can control 100%, which is me. So I changed me. I changed the way I thought. And I went about this approach much differently. And this is what I did. I invested in a system, right? Now I chose real estate. I invested in a system. I got around people who could help me. I checked my ego at the door. I followed all of the steps. So if there was a 10-step process to be successful that had been proven, I followed all 10. I did not follow 7 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 or 5 out of 10, which some people do. 0 out of 10 I've seen. I followed all 10. And oh, and guess what? I didn't have any other businesses that I was trying to manage at the same time. And as a result of those simple little shifts in my mindset and then in my doing my activity while I was working my 9 to 5, I was able to, in 9 months, earn enough income to where I felt comfortable leaving my job. And that's what I did. And in 18 months, I more than doubled my 9 to 5 income, more than doubled it, almost 3 times it in 18 months. And it was simply because it had nothing to do with luck. It had nothing to do with timing. It was all because I just changed my approach and I changed me. All right. Now, I'm no longer in the real estate business. I have one property left. But what I learned was what happened, and I'm totally honest with this, and a lot of the content I put out talks about this. Is I basically recreated exactly what I had done in my 9 to 5 life inside of my real estate business. So I had created another job. I was saying yes to everything. So I'm doing really well in this real estate business. Like I'm kicking butt. And then I'm like, all right, what's next? Let's do something else. So I started a podcast. I started to do sales consulting because that was my background. And then I started a coaching business as well. So now I went from one thing to four things. And guess what? Like I couldn't keep up with it. And I had a team too. Like I was hiring people and I had a team of people. And it just started to get away from me because I was saying yes to too many things and I was being very opportunistic and I got to keep my options open. It's like, no, you don't have to keep your options open. You just got to focus on the one thing. So I kind of created a bit of a mess. And I had a very, very open and honest conversation with myself and my wife, and we agreed. She gives me so many great ideas. One of the things she said was, "Why don't you, before you figure out what you want to do, why don't you figure out what you don't want to do?" And this is actually a lesson in one of my modules in one of my in my course that I teach in the W2 Prison Break community, my mastermind, which is before you figure out what you want, you have to clearly define what you don't want. And it was a very enlightening experience for me. And I knew this to be true. I just needed to be reminded of it. So I literally wrote down. I remember doing this. I grabbed I have a legal pad, so I grabbed a yellow legal pad and I wrote a line down the middle, drew a line down the middle, line across the top, and I said on the left side I wrote down I don't want this, and I filled it out before I even went to the other side of the page where it would be like I want to do this. It's like I don't want to do this. And on the left side, right at the top was real estate. I don't want to do real estate. I don't really want to do sales consulting anymore. So I was listing out all this stuff that I did not want to do. And once I did that, it became clear. It opened up some space for me to go to the up to the right side of the page and write down the things that I wanted to do, the things that brought me joy, the things that lit me up. And it wasn't just about business. It was everything personal. So if you're ever challenged with, I don't know what to do, or I don't know what I would like to do, figure out what you don't like first. Like, I don't like doing this. And it's usually stuff that you're currently doing, and figure that out, write that out. Take as long as you want. Like I teach this in the lesson, which is don't feel like you have to knock this out in 1 hour. Take as much time as you want. Just do the exercise. And then you could even just leave it there for a bit. Like once you fill out the I don't want to do this part of the list, you can walk away from it and just kind of think about it for a little bit and come back and fill out the right side of the list. And then you know exactly and focus and go all in on my coaching business, which is exactly what happened. And once I realized as fast as possible, otherwise it'll just linger. And that's exactly what happened. Like it's hard to fully exit the real estate business because you got people in the houses, you got to turn them over, you got to sell them. So that took me a little bit of time to do. But once I realized like, hey, I don't really like this business at all. There's nothing really fun about it. Like I just happen to be good at it. And the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Now that's just me. I'm not bad mouthing the real estate business. I'm just saying for me and what I was trying to accomplish and what I really truly wanted, real estate was not the vehicle for me. So I got out of it and I focused on my coaching business. And it took a little while to make that transition. And I've just now recently within the last couple of 3 months, gotten to the point where it's like I'm no longer tied to that business, sans one property that we decided to keep, and it's really on autopilot. Like I don't even have to manage it, to where I'm fully out of that from a day-to-day perspective. Which just reminded me of something, by the way. So try that exercise, which is figure out what you don't want first. Puro Clean, what's going on? Steve, do you guys have any questions that I can help you with? I've been talking a lot here about content and how I would go about approaching content. because I get a lot of questions about, like, hey, I'm running out of ideas. Like, what do I do if what do I do for content ideas? And if you have a skill or area of expertise that you're interested in, just talk about it. One of the things that I do, and I teach my clients this, is who don't have a podcast and like don't even want to get involved with that, but that's fine. Is you can grab a simple tool like Loom. Loom, to get the paid version, I think is about $180 per year. Let's call it, or maybe it's 190 per year. So fairly inexpensive. What does that come out to per month? Like $16 a month. Like you're paying more for Netflix. You know what I mean? And Netflix pays you no return. Loom can actually pay your return. Here's how. So you would here's how I do a lot of my emails too, which is I'll do like a brain dump in Loom. Like I'll open up the recording and I'll record. I'll just start talking about a particular topic, or I'll talk about an offer, or maybe I'll just go through my day. Like, this is what I learned today. Like, this is what my day was like in business. And then I'll take the transcript of that and I'll put it into ChatGPT. And I have a very simple prompt that I use over and over again that spits out an email that I can send to my list, or I can post it in the school community, as a value email, as a value post. And I'll read you the prompt, and I hope it's helpful. But again, I do the step one is to do the recording, like do the brain dump, 5-10 minutes, whatever it is. And I simply just write this prompt in, and I didn't invent this prompt. I got this from a couple different people, and then I added my own spin on it. And I'll tell you the part that I added. So the first part I got from a really, really very smart woman who runs a very successful school community, which is, I want to write a highly valuable, insightful nurture email for my newsletter subscribers. Please use my tone of voice and turn this brain dump into an email, including key takeaways and action steps and a moral of the email subtly positioned at the end. Write this. And so that's part one. And this second part I got from Alex Hormozy. And then the last part I wrote myself. So this is the Hormozy part that is all in the same prompt. Write this below a third grade reading level, shorter sentences, fewer adverbs, no passive language, no excessive words. And then I added more white space optimized for mobile devices, because most people are reading on mobile devices. So I put that prompt into ChatGPT, and then I just put a colon on there. I paste the transcript in there, and boom, it gives me an email that I can send out to my list. And there's very little editing involved, because they're my words. I already spoke the words into the Loom video. Now I'm just using this prompt to help me organize all of the thoughts that I have in the Loom video, right? The transcript, and writing it in a way that is easily consumable to the person reading it, which is use these shorter sentences, no excessive words, white space, optimized for mobile devices. So I get a very clean email that's to the point, and I can send that out. And you could literally send an email out every single day doing that, if you just took at the end of your day a brain dump, a 5-minute brain dump as to what you went through for the day, or what you were working on, and then go in and put that nurture email prompt in there and send it out to your list, and you'd have a really, really engaged email list, right? Because as I mentioned at the beginning of this live, my goal for this year is to add 4,000 people to my email list, which is why I'm very, very heavy on my lead campaign. I'll talk to you about what my lead campaign looks like right now. So I'm running a uh, lead campaign through Facebook ads. I spend currently about $20 per day, so not a lot of money, but let's look at the math on that. So $20 a day times 30 is $600 per month, right? To get people onto my list, I'm spending $600 per month. There's a couple different schools of thought here. My ads are running 24/7, like the lights are never off. If I pay somebody to cold call, which I've had cold callers, like if I hire a VA at, let's just say I'm paying a VA at $9 an hour and I have them work 40 hours a week, I'm paying them $360 per week. And per month, that is almost $1,600, 1,558. Cost me $600 for the ads. I'm getting just running the ads, which is, and there's a little bit of management involved in there, and then uh, writing new ads. Like I'll place new ads into that campaign until I find a winner, and then I just run that thing. I throw gas on it and let that thing run. The VA is going to lose every time. Like having the ad that's running and bringing people onto my list is usually going to outperform because it never sleeps, right? Like the ads are just constantly running because my automation is very well done. Like I have a lead form that people fill out, and if you guys want to look at it, just go to the workshop. Like I don't care if you unsubscribe, just go to the workshop, which I posted in here. So if you scroll up, it should be pinned. It should be pinned. The workshop, the wtpresentbreaknation.com/workshop. You'll see how the flow goes, right? But those are ads that are going out, and I'm getting about right now. I'm getting about 10 leads a day for roughly $2 a lead. Let's call it $2 a lead. It's not the exact number. So it costs me $2 to get somebody on my email list. That is very, very good math. And I'm going to run you the numbers here. So I get 10 per day, right? Which is 30. So I get 300 leads a month. It costs me $2 and I'm spending $600 a month on ads, right? Currently, if I didn't make any changes and I just kept it $20. So I like those numbers. Those are good returns. Those are cheap leads in terms of, now these aren't leads that I'm saying they're cheap. They're not buyers. They're just, it's not costing me a lot of money to get them. Whereas if I run like a sales campaign and I'm running an ad to like a paid product, maybe it's like a $27 low ticket offer, which I do have, there's no way I'm going to get sales for $2. I mean, it's just going to cost a lot more money to get that because you're asking people for money, right? So it's just a different game. But if we do like the yearly math on this, so if I'm getting 10 leads a day, that's 3,650 leads per year. And it would cost me $7,300 if I'm spending $20 a day, right? So I'm looking at this from a budgeting standpoint. It's like, okay, I'm committing to $7,300 for the year to run this lead campaign. And I know I'm going to get 3,650 people on my list. If I get 10 per day, and my goal is to grow my list by 4,000, and I will get another 400 people by just organic stuff, like organic from my podcast. Just I'll get people on my list from low ticket sales, from other sources. People will get on my email list. So the 4,000 is kind of a done deal. Like I've got that. Now, part two of this is monetizing them. Like obviously, if I get 4,000 people on my list and I'm spending $7,300, like that's a loser. That's a bad business model. So what are the numbers that I'm looking at for these people? So 3650 is the number from, this is just from the lead campaign. So when you go to my lead campaign, when you go into my workshop, you're going to put your name in, you're going to put my email in. And guys, by the way, I teach all this stuff too. Like, so yes, I'm running an ad and I'm trying to get people on my email list, but I teach all this stuff too inside of my community and inside of my starter kit, which is once you get onto my list, I don't just say, hey, thanks, check your email, or here's the thing that you just ordered or that you just signed up for. I add another step, which is I have a custom thank you page. And the custom thank you page, and this is really important, and I just added this. And as a result of adding this, my email deliverability has gone up big time because I wasn't getting a lot of people to read the emails, which is pointless. If you have an email list and nobody's reading your emails, it's pointless. So I have a thank you page, a custom thank you page that says at the top, congrats, your business selection workshop is on its way to your email. Please check your spam folder. Make sure you check your spam folder, something I say. Like that's right at the top. Then I just say, hey, look, while you're here, I've got this other awesome thing that I want to present to you. And because you're here and only on this page, I'm going to give you a discount to get it. So I present them with an offer, and whether or not they buy it or not is up to them, but they've been shown it, right? Right from the get-go. Like, you can't, if people don't know you have something, they can't buy from you. So you have to tell them what you have. And I show it to them, and they have an opportunity. Some people will buy right there on the page. Now, what the offer that I give, I have a $27 product. It's a low ticket product, and it is the 7-day starter kit for busy parents. So in addition to picking your business, it helps you validate your business. It helps you build a brand. It helps you define your target audience. It helps you create your offer. And then it helps you launch your business. And then it helps you get leads, like create content, all that good stuff. Like 7 days, if you follow the steps, you can launch your business. Well, I sell it for $27, but on that page, you get offered a coupon for $20 off. So you just opted in for the lead magnet. Like, hey, here's a $20 off coupon. This course that I have, this 7-day starter kit, is only $7. And I put a little scarcity in there, like it's only available on this page. So some people will be influenced to click the button. And I would encourage you to go through my funnel just so you can see how this goes. And again, if you want to unsubscribe, that's totally fine because I do send out emails, but I encourage everyone to go through other people's funnels just to see how they set up the funnels. So you can see the flow and get ideas. Like, I do that all the time. I go through other people's funnels and I was like, okay, I like that idea. This is cool. That I can see using this. But then you have the $7 option. So you're saving $20 right there. And then when you go to my order page, right? Like, so you'll learn about the thing, you'll go to the order page, and then you'll get presented with what's referred to as an order bump. So you got your credit card out, right? Like, you're ready to pay. And then you get presented with something else like, hey, you need this too, because it's going to help you get faster results. Right. So I have an order bump. I do not have any upsells after that or downsells. Like, I just don't do that to people because I hate it when it happens to me. So I have one offer for the low ticket, and then I have an order bump. And then once you complete that transaction, you go to another thank you page, which is like, book a call with me right here on this calendar. So it's like, you want to get these clients or these buyers while the getting's good. So they book a call with me, and then I run them through, they watch a video like to prepare for the call, and I help them pick their business idea. And I'm very clear about that. Like, it's called a business selection guidance call. And it is a combination of that, and it is also a potential sales call, because I want to find out what their challenges are, because they're going to tell me, like, hey, I've got this idea for a business. I'll give them what I think is, what I think they should do, give them some guidance, and I'll give them the next step. I'll present them with the community. Like, I want them to upgrade to the community, which is W2 Prison Break Nation, which is $37 per month. So you can take, ideally, I just want you to see how the flow looks here. So I give away, I run ads to a free thing, a good free thing. Like, you can't run ads to, I shouldn't say you can't. You shouldn't run ads to garbage. Okay, you just shouldn't, because you're gonna ruin your reputation. So I have a 37-minute workshop where I walk you through step by step. I give you prompts, like I give you the whole thing, and you just have to do the work. Like, there's no other way around it. Like, I can't hold your hand. You have to actually watch the thing and do the stuff. But then from there, you go right to an offer, right? And not everyone's going to buy, but you're going to be presented with it. And then now you're on my email list, and I'm going to send you an email that says, hey, I just want to make sure that you got this thing. Here it is. Go here. Oh, and by the way, here's the $20 off coupon again. So they get reminded again. One of the biggest lessons that uh, Alex Hormozy has taught me is people need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. Remember that, write that down. People need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. And because we usually know what to do, we just need to be reminded to do the thing. And if you guys are thinking about that right now, it's like, oh yeah, I do need to be reminded all the time. Like, how many times have you said to your partner or your kid, like, remind me to do this, right? You have to do that with your customers as well, or your list. You have to remind them that you have the stuff. because you can't just assume that they know, because a lot of the times they don't know. So you have to constantly remind people. So they get reminded. The first the first one is when they opt in. They opt in, boom, hey, I've got this other thing that will help you solve your problems if you're trying to start a business and you're stuck. Then they get an email that says the same thing. Then 6 hours later, they get another email that says basically, and I recently implemented this into my business, and which I got off an ad, which is called the 6 hour email, 6 hour email template, which is you after somebody opts in, and this makes sense if you think about behavior. After somebody opts in to a lead magnet and they get on your email list, like usually the cadence is you send them an email right away, like your CRM sends them the thing right away. Well, they don't necessarily check because at that particular time they're on social media. So just because they opted into your free thing doesn't mean they're going to get off social media and stop scrolling and go check their email. They're going to do that later. And that could get lost. Like in between, they could have a bunch of different emails and it's like they didn't even get it. So you send a follow up email 6 hours later that basically says, hey, I just want to make sure that you got it. You got this thing. That's it. Reply back that you got it. And when they reply back, that also signals to the email servers that you're a legit sender and that your other emails will get delivered better. That second email, the 6 hour email, has gets opened 10% more than the first email. So people open the reminder email more than they open the first email, right? And then I run them through a sequence, they get reminded more. And then if they get on a call with me, which I always remind them too, like if you don't put people on your calendar, like you're not going to make sales. Like you have to have people on your calendar. So and again, you have to remind them to do that because number one, people really don't want to get on calls because they know they're going to get sold. They're in a pretty good mentality that they're going to get pitched something. So you have to constantly remind them to book the call, right? And I do that in the email sequence, like, hey, make sure you book your call. You get to get the most out of it. It's a bonus for you. And some people do, some people don't, but you always have to remind people. And that's part of the email sequence and the texting campaign. So then after that, I have another email sequence that everyone goes through. So that, because there's 7 emails. Guido, Guido, that's an awesome name. I love that. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I've been talking for a long time here. Do you guys have any questions? I've been going here for about 53 minutes. I'll probably go for maybe like another 5 or 10 minutes or so, and then I'm going to be done. Call it a weekend here. All right. So here's what I want you guys to do. The people who are here, who missed most of it, I've been on for an hour. Grab my workshop, which is free. It's the link is in the comments here. It should still be in there. And just go through my funnel and see how I do it. And if you don't like what you see, just unsubscribe, but it'll give you an idea of what a lead magnet funnel looks like. And this is the thing that I'm running ads to. And it's not really published anywhere. So I only put it here. Like the thing that's published on my Instagram page is my 7-day starter kit, my 7-day business starter kit. By the way, I am running a special promotion on that. So you don't even have to get on my email list. If you just want the starter kit, which is the only link in my bio, and I'm a big believer in that, only have one link in your profile because a confused buyer does not buy. Like if I have 15 things in my store, it's like, what am I supposed to get? Now, if you have a brand and you're selling like clothes and different products and stuff, yes. But if you're selling digital products, like I would want to lead people to one thing, get them off the platform, and then email them what I want them to buy. That's my philosophy, and I'm sticking to it. So there's the coupon 20 off. You put that in the checkout page, and you can get my $27 7-day business starter kit for busy parents for $7. You'll send that for coffee. You'll spend that for coffee like tomorrow if you drink coffee. I mean, I assume everybody drinks coffee here. Somebody today I was talking to that's like, I don't drink coffee. I'm like, yeah, I need to tell me your secrets. Like, I can't live without it. I suppose I could live without it. I just don't want to. So use that. That is good until midnight, unless you opt into my email list, and then you will get that coupon again, or you get a different coupon for the starter kit. Only link in my profile. Go grab it. And it comes with a free 30-minute one-to-one call. So you could still, even though I'm giving you a $20 off coupon, so I'm selling the $27 thing for $7, you can still get on a call with me, 30-minute call with me. And I will help you nail down your business idea and take you to the next step. All right, I'm going to hop off. This is great. Thank you guys for showing up. And I will see you next week because I'm going to be doing these at least once per week. When you come back, just think about what questions you might have that I can help you with. All right. I appreciate you. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you soon.